Okay, let's dive in. After that dip on Friday, the market didn't just bounce today, it surged, completely wiped out those losses.
Yeah, quite the reversal.
And the big story, well, it seems to be the SPY reclaiming that critical $600 level and, not just touching it, but holding with some real buyer conviction. What does that actually mean?
That's the key question, right? The conviction part.
Exactly. We're going to unpack that. But here's where it gets really interesting. Hidden in all that green, our source material is flagging a potential pattern in gold. They're calling it a death hook.
Yeah, that caught my eye too. A bit ominous sounding.
It does. So we need to get into why these signals, kind of contrasting, matter and how they fit into the bigger picture for you right now. Oh, and hey, if you find these daily summaries helpful, do us a solid, hit that like button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps us out immensely. And click subscribe so you never miss a beat. You can always unsubscribe later if it's not for you.
Definitely helps us keep these going.
Totally. And just a quick heads up, as always, nothing here is specific buying or selling advice. It's just general market talk and, trading education based on the sources we're digging into today.
Purely commentary and education.
All right, let's jump into today's market action, June 16th. What a turnaround.
Yeah, the strength behind the moves is what stands out. Take the SPY, finished up, 0.95%?
Right.
And reclaiming that $600 level Grok Trade, pointed out as key resistance, now maybe support. Well, it signals buyers stepped in decisively right there.
It's not just a random bounce. Feels like conviction at that technical point.
Exactly. And look at the DIA, the Dow. Gained 0.82%. It popped back above his 200-day moving average.
Which, as we've noted, is a big line in the sand for long-term trend watchers. So, yeah, notable.
Absolutely. And tech, wow. The QQQ surged 1.4%. It pretty much just shrugged off that negative MACD divergence we mentioned yesterday.
Yeah, the bullish momentum just rolled right over it today.
It did. Small caps joined in too. The IWM rose 0.9%. And that bounce, right off its 20-day moving average, just like the sources suggested was likely.
Perfect technical bounce there. Though still below that 200-day resistance overhead, worth keeping an eye on.
Good point. Sector-wise, consumer staples, financials, they showed strength. Energy lagged a bit, surprisingly, even with those Middle East tensions simmering.
Interesting. And volatility. The VIX.
Eased off quite a bit after spiking on Friday. Another sign fear dialed back today.
Makes sense. And quickly, Apple, AAPL.
Yes. Held that daily support trend line we've been tracking. Bulls defended it again. Seems important.
Okay, shifting gears. The economic calendar was pretty light today, right?
That's right. Today felt much more driven by technicals and sentiment, less by fresh economic data. The focus is definitely shifting to tomorrow.
And what's on tap for tomorrow? What are we watching?
We get retail sales and industrial production. Both are pretty crucial for gauging consumer strength and, the overall economic momentum. Should give us a clearer read.
And that builds on some okay news from yesterday, like the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index. Came in better than expected, right? 60.5.
Yeah, well above forecasts. It provides a bit of a cautiously optimistic backdrop, for now at least.
Cautiously being the key word, maybe. Because as you mentioned, those Middle East tensions are still lingering. Could keep investors on edge.
Absolutely. That geopolitical overhang is always a factor that can inject uncertainty regardless of the data.
Okay, let's talk crypto and metals. Always some interesting action there.
For sure. Crypto side, Bitcoin, BTC jumped 2.8%. It's building on that rally we saw yesterday, found support right at its 50-day moving average.
That 50-day has been key, the level we've watched. Holding it feels important.
It definitely strengthens the cautiously bullish case. We're watching for a potential breakout if this keeps up.
And then gold. This is why our sources flag something concerning.
They did. Gold GLD fell 1.43% today. And what's interesting, or maybe worrying for bulls, is it slipped back into the apex of that ascending triangle pattern we were tracking. So you see a pattern breakout, looks good, but then it reverses fast back inside, especially with downward force. That's what Grok Trade calls their death hook pattern.
A death hook, huh? Sounds not great. What does that usually suggest?
It often signals a failed breakout. Can be pretty troublesome for bullish momentum, at least short term. Suggests the initial buying push just didn't have legs.
Okay. Silver, meanwhile.
Silver, SLV, actually managed a tiny gain, 0.18%. Just consolidating near that 33-year level we saw Friday. Pretty quiet compared to gold.
Hey, quick pause, got a stock you're watching or a question about the markets? Drop it in the comments below. We might just tackle it in an upcoming deep dive.
Looking at today, the SPY taking back $600, gold's potential death hook, IWM bouncing off the 20-day, BTC holding the 50-day. These are all just Perfect examples of why understanding technical levels matters.
Right. And patterns, risk management.
Exactly. It's not just about seeing prices move. It's about grasping why they might be reacting at these specific points and learning to apply that consistently. That's really what structured learning, like in Grok Trade's mentorship program, is all about.
Makes sense.
You have coaches, people with decades of combined experience, guiding you through interpreting these signals, building a strategy that fits you, and critically managing risk. It's about building confidence to handle volatile markets with, actionable insights from the charts.
So let's wrap up today's deep dive. Strong rebound overall. SPY took back $600 decisively. Tech led the charge. Bitcoin held key support.
Yep, lots of green.
But we've got that intriguing, maybe slightly worrying signal in gold with that potential death hook pattern forming. Something to watch. And hey, got a ticker you want us to break down? Let us know in the comments. We genuinely love seeing what's on your radar.
Yeah, definitely. Days like today, with strong green moves, but also these kinds of warning patterns elsewhere, they're a good reminder.
They really are. Stay vigilant, understand the signals, and always, always manage that risk.
Couldn't say it better myself.
All right, thanks for diving deep with us today. We'll catch you on the next one.